G'day guys, welcome to another mod overhaul video, and today we'll be looking into Moff Gideon. I'll be showing you two teams that he can be used in and how he should be modded. Gideon is quite plug and play, able to be used in multiple teams for a variety of different purposes. Generally because Gideon being one of the fastest non-galactic legend characters in the game, with a base speed of 192, with the correct mods you can easily squeeze 370 speed, which comes in handy for multiple opening plays. Meaning you want him to be modded for speed and only speed, as he wants to open up most battles first. I'll quickly show you what I've got for my mods. These are my fastest mods I've got, and I can get them to 377. Obviously we're not all going to have these same mods, but we can all aim for at least, you really want them 370 and above. Yeah, it does help, and I will explain why we need him that fast. One of his key abilities that makes him so valuable is his second special, control the situation, that's what it's called. Because he is so fast, he's able to get out there quickly and start the battle in most situations. You should always start his turn with this ability, which enables him to reset the turn meter of every character in the encounter, and also grants his allies 25% turn meter. This is fantastic if your team needs a jump start, so to speak, to take down fast enemies. Be mindful though, that teams that are immune to turn meter reduction will obviously ignore this ability, rendering Gideon useless. For example, Sith Empire, when debuffed, are immune to turn meter reduction, and obviously Jedi Master Kenobi stops all turn meter gain or loss. Those are just a couple teams that are immune to turn meter manipulation. One of Gideon's best teams is the Imperial Troopers, the Super Trooper team. He gains an additional 20 speed from the Veer's lead. I'm not sure if you know that already. I'll just quickly show you here. An extra 20 speed for Imperial Trooper allies. So if you don't meet the cut of 370, you can rely on Veers giving you that 20 speed for boost and only have to aim for 350 in that Imperial Trooper situation. This makes him pretty much impossible to outrun. Of course, if it's a GL he's going up against, they will obviously outrun him, but this jumpstart enables this team, the Super Trooper team, to begin their infinite turn meter train. I did have a video, but unfortunately I couldn't show it for some reason. The assists and granted buffs Gideon spreads out when he uses that control the situation ability basically nullifies that turn meter reset on the Imperial Trooper team, because they're getting so many buffs already, and because of Veer's lead they get 10% turn meter per buff, and they're just gonna turn meter outrun pretty much anything. So that's where Gideon's home is in the Imperial Trooper team, I believe. But because he's also got that plug and play viability using this ability, he's able to be used in multiple teams. One thing I'd like to note is this turn meter reset that Gideon has isn't restricted to one faction, but it works in multiple teams. I'll explain one team that does benefit from this very much, and I did put a video out not too long ago explaining this, is Bad Batch with Gideon against Gas. It is only really possible to make that battle a victory if Gideon is fast enough to outrun the Rex. Remember that Rex gains 4% speed per 501st ally, including himself, and that's a plus 20% speed on top of Rex's starting speed. So if the enemy Rex isn't modded correctly or up to the top meta standard, which is like 310 and lower, the calculation for Rex is 1.2 times whatever his speed is, let's just say 310, which turns out to be like 372. If you can make your Gideon faster than that, which I will say it is tricky, but if you do have the mods, definitely do it. Get your Gideon up there, and you'll be able to take on these gases with Bad Batch no problem. obviously, for this to work, you need the Bad Batch, and your Echo needs to be around the same speed. Ideally, you want him a little bit faster than Gideon, but whatever the case, it doesn't really matter if Gideon goes first, or then Echo, or Echo goes first and then Gideon. As long as they get to go at the start of the battle, you should be okay. The speed on Gideon can be less if Rex's starting speed is less as well. You just got to make sure you do that calculation before you go into the battle. So basically, Gideon provides that opening play that the Bad Batch or another team needs to start the battle off first. Then basically Gideon just gets left behind in most cases. He's only really there to jumpstart the team and hopefully get them that win. One thing that is helpful in that gas battle with the Bad Batch and whatnot is when he passively applies Demoralize onto the enemy, which is a lock debuff if you don't know, which includes minus 50% offense, which helps especially against gas, because gas gets 2% stacking offense per buff the enemy gets. So because Bad Batch is buff heavy, gas is getting supercharged, and once he stands up for the first time, he's going to just one-shot characters like no tomorrow. But if you're interested in running that Bad Batch Gideon counter, I will leave a card on the top corner there, and you can go check it out for yourself. Anyways, guys, I'm going to wrap this video up on Gideon. Basically, you want him to mod him for speed as fast as you can get him. At low gear, he works just fine as long as you're able to get out there first, strip the turn meter, and jumpstart the team. In most cases, it will get you the win. Thanks guys again for watching, and I'll see you back on the holo tables.